What if I told you that you were the creator of your own world? That if you can shape your mind, you can shape the world. Now you're probably wondering, why is there such a chill guy in the pool right now? So I'm actually a triathlete training for my first triathlon, and 6 months ago, I couldn't even swim a lap in the pool. I'm gonna tell you guys a secret that in less than a month let me 10 times the amount that I was able to swim. And that secret is my mindset. So what I noticed going into my swims is that I used to overthink, like, I'm getting super tired, I'm gonna choke on water, I'm gonna drown. Once I was able to have that self-realization and self-actualization about those thoughts, I started bringing in positive affirmations into myself. So before I did my laps, I was like, okay, I could do this. I've done this so many times before. I've practiced this. You got this. You know how to swim. If you need air, you know how to breathe. If anything, you know how to stand up. There's people here to help. You got this. And when I went into my next swim, I realized I was less tired than I actually thought, and I was on my head. And I finished the first lap. And I was like, that wasn't anything. I'm going to do another lap. And then I did another. Then I did another. And I did another. And another. And another. And another. And another. Well, when did this become so easy? Like, what changed? Nothing changed in my swimming. Like, what changed that I was able to swim 10 laps versus one? That was my mindset. That specific moment not only changed my perspective in the pool, but in life itself. And I started doing research, and I just finished this book actually called Endurance. And what I realized from reading this book and from reading studies and from reading other athletes' experiences is that this happens so much where we change the way that we visualize things and we start positively affirming ourselves and that we're manifesting, and even like placebo studies and all these other things, that they boost our performance like crazy, and maybe not by a super huge margin, but it comes to the question, like, what is changing that is actually helping these athletes, including myself, perform better? And it's coming intrinsically, which is crazy. It's a crazy concept because it's just a psychological thing. Nothing else is changing besides what we're telling ourselves. We're not getting any superhuman drugs, whatever. Everything intrinsically is changing, not anything externally. And even the intrinsic things inside of us, the things that we're telling ourselves, the things that we believe, the things that we're thinking, play such a big part that we fail to recognize sometimes as ourselves. So when we feed ourselves these bad things, it actually affects our performance more than we actually care to even bother to think about. And we could apply these same aspects to life itself. I believe that every thought that we think, every word that we say, every action that we take shapes the reality around us. And to get biblical here, I believe in God, and I believe that God has a greater plan for us. But I believe also that God does bless us with the tools to make his plan happen. And we do have the free will to do whatever we want. So say, for example, that I go to the grocery store, or actually scratch that, that God gives you all the tools that you need to make a cake, right? The batter, the eggs, whatever. God gives you all the stuff you need to make a cake. You could decide not to make the cake and be like, yo, I want cookies. I don't want that, right? But he gives you all these tools in order to successfully succeed his plan. But he doesn't have control over you, right? Because we have that free will. So in that sense, I do believe that we are co-creators of our own existence and of our own experience in this world, because we have the free will to do whatever we want. I could do anything. I'm recording in a pool right now because I have the free will to do so. No one's telling me not to. No one's forcing me not to. I'm not getting forced to. I chose to do this on my own free will to make a point. And that's not me telling you not to follow God's plan for you or God's image of you, no. Because I believe you should follow that. And God has called me to spread the word of him and to spread his love, which I decided to follow based on my own accord, though. No one's forcing me to do it, but God called me to do that. Just as God has called maybe you, or in my experience, me, away from things, he has also called me to things. But it was upon my own free will to decide to do those things, which I am doing right now. I'm in front of this video recording about something that had to do with psychological things, but I decided to make it a little biblical and to add something about God in here because I believe in God and I believe that's worth putting into this video. And regardless if you don't believe in God or if you do, what I believe is that our perception is our projection of the world, and we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. And let me give you guys a good example of that. You ever have a really bad day where like something's just not going the way you want it to, and that just starts to affect your like whole entire day? Like everything just starts to look bad, like everybody's treating you rudely, or the vibe's bad, or the weather's bad, or just things start to pile up, like, damn, why is this all happening in the same day? It's just like not my day. See, those are things and how we perceive the world, because it's just how we feel in that moment. how we're perceiving something based off of something that bad happened to us about our entire day, about, oh, like, it's a bad day, damn, and that's probably why the weather's bad, or it's gloomy outside, or the vibe's just off today. That's our perception of the reality around us. So what we hold internally, we project outwardly to make the reality around us. Just like if we're having a good day, everything just went right, or like you just had a great day, you got promoted, you got some money, you saw your friend in a long time, like everything just seems to be going right for you. Like this is happening, oh, it's such a nice day. Like everybody's nice to me. And that's just the way that our mind shapes things because we're already having a good day. So we're thinking positive thoughts and we're thinking positive affirmations in our minds, which could lead your perception to point out more positive things in your day. And this is projection in action. And even like when we get anxious, we don't get anxious from thinking about the future. We get anxious from wanting to control it. About this perception of reality that we're creating in our own heads, trying to control it, but not physically being able to because it's just a thought at the end of the day. And that applies to so many different things, so many different emotions that it's hard for us to comprehend when we don't even think about it that way, about our own perception and not that that's just how the world is. So now the question is, if we shape our minds the way that we shape our reality, how do we shape our minds now? How do we shape them in the correct way that will shape our reality into the way that we want it, or the way that God wants us to live? How do we shape our minds? And it comes down to a couple things we talked about: manifestation, visualization, our thoughts, our words, our prayers. And for the sake of manifestation, you could combine three of those. You can combine manifestation, visualization, and thoughts, because those three of those are like three peas in a pod, right? In order to manifest, a good technique you use to manifest is to visualize. Visualize yourself achieving your goals, or visualize something good happening to you, or visualize whatever you're trying to accomplish or get out of manifesting something that you want in life, right? And that goes back to visualizing your thoughts. So visualization and your thoughts, and that's how you manifest. Thinking not about failing, but thinking about, remember, crossing that finish line, or getting that good grade, or, getting a whole bunch of views on your next video, or whatever. Maybe I'm manifesting that as I'm making this video. Who knows? Maybe this video will blow up. But that leaves us to the next two. So we got words left, we got prayers. So for words, positive affirmations are so important. You need to see this all the time with athletes, even like track athletes or anything. You see people on the line that look like they're talking to themselves.
Who you work for right here? Who you work for? All that training you did, everything you do is for this right here. Come on, hey.
And a lot of the times, they're positively affirming themselves, saying like, you got this, or telling them how they're going to complete the race or how they're going to finish the race. It shows within research and within the athletes themselves that it helps, because why would they even be doing it in the first place if they didn't think it helped? And that might be a superstition thing. But you also see these research studies that support everything that we're talking about right now, about manifesting and visualization and positive affirmations and thoughts and prayers. You see all these other things that are being supported by so many people. So it's only safe to assume that these things work, but you guys should try it for yourselves. So positive affirmations. Last thing is prayers. And as a Christian, and in my experience, prayers have been an important part of shaping my minds, because it's been a dedicated space to talk about with God about any concerns I may have, or express gratitude, or anything. And that has helped me cultivate this resilience in my mind, that when I have challenges in life, that I'm able to take my mind to a place of hope, sense, and peace, knowing that God has been with me this entire time. And no matter what happens, God will always be with me because he loves me. All right, and that is 5 things that you can do to shape the reality that you want into the reality that God wants for you, and the reality that you want to create for yourself and maybe for others. So take those with you, maybe practice some of those. And if you do, or if you have, leave it down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. That being said, though, thank you guys for watching. God bless. Don't follow me, follow God. Until the next one, guys, I will see you guys then.